Kartik will call on you to come ask your question. So, okay, right now, let's hear from Robert, and then we'll move on to Kenny. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Just a couple words. First of all, this device, the Smart Vision 3, is again provided by Raz Mobility. Kenny will be providing the training today. One issue that's come up with the phone, for everyone's convenience, before we shipped out the phones, the Smart Vision 3, we provided Google accounts. We created Google accounts for every phone, so those are included in the device. However, we created so many Google accounts at the same time that Google blocked them because it thinks that we engaged in fraud. So, not a big deal. When you typically buy a phone, there isn't a Google account already created on the device. You simply need to go into settings, delete the Google account, and create a new one, which is a Gmail account, a Gmail essentially. Kenny will be explaining to you how to add a Google account to the phone, so you know how to do it. But just to let you guys know that that there is an issue with the Google accounts that are created. And as a result, if you try to use the Google Assistant right away before creating a new Google account, the Google Assistant will not work. Similarly, if you try to download an app from the Google Play Store right now, it would not work. However, everything else will work. So with that little note, I'm turning it over to Kenny. Kenny, I think you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending today's Talk, Text, and Train session. My name is Kenneth Washington, and today I'll be talking about the Smart Vision 3, a Google-certified Android smartphone designed specifically for blind and low vision consumers. It features a touchscreen, physical large button T9 keypad, and also a dedicated voice assistant / dictation button. It is feature-packed, fully accessible, and more importantly, it is adaptable to one's own comfort level and abilities. Before I get into the details of the phone describing the layout, I will quickly mention some of the accessories you did receive with your phone. There are 3 separate boxes packaged into one large box. One of the small boxes contains your wireless charging pad, which also comes with a USB-C cord. Please use that cord when using the wireless charging pad. The second box contains everything for protecting your phone from damage. It has a silicone case, a screen protector, a cleaning cloth, and an alcohol pad. Once again, when you get time, please put your screen protector on to make sure your phone stays safe. And the third box, which includes your Smart Vision 3 phone. If you lift the phone up, underneath you will find the wall adapter, another USB-C cord. Folded up, you'll find 5 NFC tags and a pair of earbuds. And one more thing, there is a paper included with your package, Pete. Please hold on to that paper. It has information regarding the Google account that was assigned to you, so it's easy to find you in the system if a problem does arise with your phone. Now I'm going to get into describing the layout of the Smart Vision 3. I am holding it in my left hand with the front orientated towards me. Your screen should be at the top and the keypad at the bottom. Starting at the top side, the right edge. If you're using your finger, you slide across. The first port you hit will be the 3.5-inch jack. That's for your headphone. You keep sliding your finger across. The next button you will hit is your power button. That's, of course, what powers the phone on. And actually, it also puts it to sleep, which I will get into later. Going down the right side from top to bottom, the first button you will hit, which is textured, an elongated rectangle button, is your dedicated voice assistant / dictation button. Keep sliding your finger down a little bit, you will hit the volume up button and the volume down button right beneath that. And that's all the buttons on the right side. Going to the left side, I'm switching the phone over to my right hand, still facing me. Going from the top, you slide your finger down. You will come across a small hole. That is the beginning part of your SIM card tray. So in that small hole, you also have with your package, which I failed to mention, a SIM tray ejection tool. It's sort of shaped like a paper clip with a stem protruding from the bottom. Just slide the stem into the hole, carefully pushing inward, being as straight as possible, and the tray will pop up beneath it. Your SIM card tray holds 2 nano SIM cards and a micro SD card. One thing I will note here, the tray is able to hold all 3 cards at the same time, but you are not to use all 3 slots simultaneously, meaning you should only use it for 2 nano SIM cards, a nano SIM card and an SD card, or if you choose just to have a nano SIM card and an SD card individually in the tray themselves, that's fine, but never have all 3 compartments occupied simultaneously. That will lead to issues with your phone. And you keep sliding down, you may come across the bottom of the tray of the SIM card, and that's it on the left side. At the bottom of the phone, again, switching back to my left hand and using my thumb, going from left to right, the first thing you will hit is the USB charging port. That's where you will insert your USB cable that was supplied to you to charge your phone. And you keep coming across, you will run across the microphone and a little grill, which is your speaker. I will now turn the phone and describe the back. And the back of the phone, going from left to right, on the top left edge, that is where the camera and the flash is located. Now, if you take and drag your finger down and go straight across, you will run right into the fingerprint sensor. That's where you place your fingerprint to unlock your phone if you have one set up. Now I'm going to turn the phone back around, again facing me with the touch screen at the top. I will now go into details about the buttons on the front of the phone. Again, the top half of the phone, that is your 3.5-inch touchscreen. That's where you can perform different gestures through TalkBack. Underneath your screen starts the navigation area. This is your navigation pad. In the center, which is like your joystick, which is surrounded by 4 raised edges. In the middle is your OK button. That is textured. That's the button you press when you wish to click on an item or enter some text and you want to submit it. That's the OK button or confirmation button. The 4 ridges around OK button are the navigation directional buttons. The up one, of course, is the up arrow. To the left, you'll feel the left ridge. That's the left arrow. At the bottom, that's the down arrow. And of course, to the right is the right arrow. I find it easier to use these buttons by using the sort of like the fingernail tip of your finger. Some of you may have fat fingers like I do, so It helps avoid accidentally pushing the OK button in the center when you mean to navigate up or down with the directional buttons. To the immediate left of the directional pad is two buttons arranged one above each other. At the top left, that is your home button. When you press your home button, normally short press, it takes you wherever you are in Android, it takes you back to the home page. If you long press the home button, it will bring up your recent apps, which shows all the currently loaded apps where you can quickly switch between them, or you can also close them, which is also important. Right below the home button is the menu button. Very important button that is the brains of your phone. Pressing that button, you will notice all the settings. You can go to notifications, quick settings, talkback settings. Again, I'll explain that more in detail when I start explaining the phone. On the right side of the directional pad, again, you'll find two more buttons arranged horizontally, one above the other. At the top button is your back button. That simply takes you back to the previous screen when you short press it. If you long press it, and when I mention the word long press, I mean press, hold the button down, 1 Mississippi, release. That will bring up your notification shade. Underneath the back button is your delete button, which is also a very important button, useful when you're entering text. That's how you delete text. If you long press the delete button, again, hold it down, 1 Mississippi, release, it will clear all the information that is entered in the text field. So it's a quick way to start all over again if you're entering your password or your email address and it just didn't come out properly. Now, below the navigation pad is an arrangement of 4 rows of 3 buttons each. That is your T9 keypad, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The star key, the 0 key, and the pound key make up the last 3 buttons on the last row. Now, the T9 keypad is marked, the 5 button is marked, if you can feel, there's a dot there. So you know when you hit that dot, that is the 5 button. So you go to the left, that's the 4. You go below it, that's the 8, and so forth. So that's an easy way for you to know where you are on the keypad when you start entering text, numbers, and so forth. Now we'll get into powering on the phone. Powering on the phone requires you to simply hold down the power button, which is located on the top side towards the right edge. Press and hold it down until you feel a vibration. I felt the vibration, I released the button. And right now, the Smart Vision 3 is in the process of booting up. I may take a minute. Just loading up configurations, different things. And then you hear the chime. That chime indicates that your phone is loaded into Android.
Device unlocked. Settings. Phone is starting. Manage MDM has stopped. Increase.
Now,
accessibility volume set to 85%.
I increase this. I'll explain how to raise the volume.
Messages is doing work in the background.
In the beginning, and it may popped up again at the end, the manage
Email,
engine
messages,
stopped message that did that was spoken. That is something you can close. That problem will be fixed. That's related to what Robert talked about at the top of the hour.
Button. Close that.
So I simply press the down arrow button, again, that directional pad with the texture button in the middle, and I hit the OK button.
Home screen.
Now it's closed.
Tuesday the 7th
Now,
of November.
when you're first in Android and your phone loads, you're immediately on the home screen. And as you can see, it places you on the time and date widget, which you want to probably move off, because what happens every time the time changes, which is every minute, then as you notice, TalkBack will speak. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. When you boot your phone, TalkBack will always launch. It's there for you from the beginning. You don't need to press any shortcut keys or anything of that. Is automatically programmed to start up once Android loads. Now we're going to go through, if you're a consumer, you're going to a consumer's house and it's time to set up the phone, these are steps you should be doing to get started. The first thing I'm going to do, again, as I told you, the menu button, which is on the left below the home button. I'm going to press the menu button and I'm going to go down to settings.
Notification.
Arrowing down.
Recent applications. Settings.
Press the OK button.
Settings. Search settings.
Now, the first thing
I'll
I'll do, I like to change the screen timeout. Currently, it's set to 1 minute. So you'll find if you don't touch your phone, there's 1 minute of inactivity, your phone will go to sleep. So what I'm going to do, arrowing down, we're in settings.
Add another email. Closed. Network and connected. Apps and display.
Display.
On side. Display.
I press the OK button. Now I'm going to arrow down.
Display. Search settings. Brightness. Dark theme. Switch. Dark. Night light. Adaptive brightness. Wallpaper. Screen timeout. After 10 minutes of inactivity.
Oh, it's already set to 10 minutes. So I already did it. But you will find yours is set to 1 minute.
Screen timeout. 15
So
seconds.
again, you can, it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. You want to generally set it to 10 minutes. You don't want to set it to 30 minutes or more because it's important that your screen times out, because what the phone is essentially doing is preserving battery life. So when your screen goes to sleep, it turns off the screen and it also turns off the keypad, which means that if you happen to touch your phone and start pressing the up and down arrow button and you notice it's not speaking, that means that your phone is asleep in standby mode. Simply tap the power button and that will wake your phone up and then it will start speaking again. I'm gonna back out of this.
Display. Screen timeout. Settings.
By hitting the back
Display.
button.
Wallpaper. Sleep.
Now I'm gonna go up to
List.
connections, network connections, because the most important thing you can do and the most important thing for making sure your phone works properly, I went up to network and internet, is to establish a stable connection to the internet.
Network and internet. Search
I'm
settings.
arrowing down.
Wi-Fi. Not connected.
That's what I want, Wi-Fi. Press the OK button.
Wi-Fi. Button. Back. Out of list.
Now we'll bring up the
Showing
list of
19 to
Wi-Fi
9
networks. And if you're in a neighborhood like
Showing
mine,
19
you'll probably find a list of 15, 20 networks listed there. How it works is the network with the strongest signal will always be at the top. And that should be the Wi-Fi network that is running in your house. So I'm arrow down.
Wi-Fi. Search settings. Use Wi-Fi. Switch on.
Of course, you want that on.
Enterprise. Wi-Fi
That's one of the
signal
networks running in my house.
TP-Link
And that's the
underscore
second network I created, especially for this demo that is running. So you press the OK button on it.
TP-Link underscore mat underscore 3140. Edit box. Password. Out of list.
Now, of course, you're in the edit box. One thing I want you to pay close attention to. The focus has been placed on the edit box. Does not mean it's ready for you to start using the T9 keypad to enter in letters. You have to press the OK key.
Edit box. Editing. Selected.
You heard it say that important word at the end, editing. That means the field is now ready for you to input information. So I'm going to put my password for the network. I'm going to the 6 key, which is also M, N, and O.
M.
Going to the 2 key.
A. T.
Now that's the letters. To switch and go to number mode, you have to go down to the star key. That cycles from capital letters to normal letters to numeric. So I'm going to hit the star key, which is to the left of the 0.
Capital.
Capital letters.
Numeric.
That's numeric. Now when I press the 1 key on the keypad.
1. 8.
Now you notice when I press the keys, you may hear a little sound which indicates the letter has been entered successfully. You don't want to press keys rapidly because what happens is if you don't hear that sound, then that means it probably wouldn't have entered the letter. So you think you're jumping ahead. There's a way to adjust that setting to make it faster or slower, again, depending on the individual's comfort level and abilities. So again, I entered in the numbers and I have to enter in one more letter, lowercase letter. So I'm gonna switch back using the asterisk key. Normal mode. And now I have to hit the V, which means it's the 8 button, T-U-V. It's enter. Now I got my password in, hit the OK button. And now it should connect.
Wi-Fi. Enterprise, Wi-Fi signal full. Secure network, in list. Showing items 2 to 10 of 24.
So if I arrow down to TP link.
Addy, Wi-Fi 2, Enterprise. TP link _mat_3140. Connected, Wi-Fi signal full.
That's a
Secure
good
network.
sign. So that tells you
Showing
that you are
items 2 to
now
9 of
connected
15.
to your Wi-Fi router, which means you have a stable connection to the internet. So we're able to move on. So I'm gonna hit the back button.
Work in internet.
Going to the
Wi-Fi,
previous
TP
screen.
link
Now, the
_
next thing I'm gonna explain is the account, the place where you enter in your own Gmail account.
Mobile network.
So
Mobile.
let's go back again.
Network and internet.
So we're on the
Wi-Fi,
main settings
mobile,
page. I'm gonna arrow down.
devices, Bluetooth, notifications, display, sound, storage, privacy, location, security, accounts, Google,
Accounts. That's where you want to be at. Press on account.
accounts, button, back,
Now
list.
you have an account in there that probably begins with the letter M, Mary, D, David, some numbers. That's the account you will have listed here. Mine is different because I already erased mine.
Search settings, accounts, heading, talktexttrain@gmail.com.
That is my email address that I registered, talktexttrain@gmail.com. Again, the account you're looking to remove should begin with MD number. So what you do is select that account by pressing the OK button.
Google, button, back,
Arrow
list.
down.
Google, search settings, top text, Google account sync, button, remove account.
That's what you want to do. Remove our account. Of course, I don't want to do that because I want to keep my account because that is my own Google account. But for you to remove that MD account, you arrow down to remove, select OK, and follow the prompts. You again got to verify that's what you want to do. Press OK again, and it's gone.
Account.
Going backwards.
Talktexttrain@gmail, add account.
Then you want to add your account, and that's the add account button. So you press on add. I'm not going to go through the whole process of it because it's self-explanatory, but you arrow down to
search settings, exchange.
That's an exchange account. That's more for Microsoft. So if you happen to have an Outlook, you want to see Outlook email, that's what you choose.
Google.
And that's your Google. That's the one you want to select. You press in on there, simply follow the prompts, and then you can enter your own Gmail account, and the phone will be fully operational. A voice assistant for Google will work properly, and you'll be able to access the Play Store and all those good things. So again, I hit the back button.
Settings, accounts, Google.
So now, again, we're at a consumer's house. We successfully set up Wi-Fi, which is a good sign. So the phone's connected to the internet. So right now, behind the scenes is probably doing some updates. We also hopefully if the individual don't have a Gmail account, you can create one. If not, the empty account will be working by then. But we do now have an active working Gmail account, which is also registered to the phone, which is also important. Next thing you want to do is check for updates. I can't urge to you how important it is to always get all the most recent updates before you begin doing anything on the phone as far as working with apps. So what I'm going to do, instead of arrow down one by one, I'm going to quickly jump down to the bottom of the screen by pressing the down arrow key. And
Vision
that's
3.
where we want to go to.
About phone. Button. Back. Out of
And
list.
then we want to arrow down
Show
to,
about phone. Search setting. Owner. Device name. Phone number. Phone number. Emergency. Legal information. SIM status. SIM status. Model and hard. IMEI. IMEI. Android. IP address. Wi-Fi max. Device Wi-Fi. Bluetooth add. Uptime. 1212. Custom build version. System updates.
that's what we want, system
Items for
update. Now,
10 to 20
again,
of 20.
I'm arrowing down, taking a long way because I think it's important, just like in school, where it's important to learn long math before you start learning short math. I think it's important you learn the long way of doing things before I show you how to do it quicker, because if the quicker way does not happen to work for you, you can always go back to the long way, or the long math, as I like to put it. So now we're in system, check for updates.
Build number 10,951. Button. Back. Out of. About phone. Search settings. To view. Device Wi-Fi map. Bluetooth address.
Let me go back
Custom
down.
build
I don't think I hit
system
on it.
update.
Okay,
Build
let me go back up.
System
System update.
System updates. Press bar. 0%. Out of list. System updates. Version 11,091.
Oh, there we go. There's an update. 11,091.
1,727.14 megabytes.
Now you see how big that update is? That's over a megabyte in size, almost 2. So that's why it's important to have a Wi-Fi connection, because if you use data, as you say, the data can be eaten up pretty quickly.
Would you like to download the system optimization update?
Now, I'm not going to do this now because it will stop my phone.
We would recommend it using a free Wi-Fi hotspot or an unlimited data plan to apply this update.
See, it's
If
giving.
non-standard data connection charges may apply. Checkbox. Wi-Fi only, checked.
So that's to force it to use the Wi-Fi, which you prefer to use.
Firmware update can enhance machine stability and patch bugs. Release note. Button. Download and install.
And again, I'm arrowed down. Now, I'm not going to hit download and install because, again, it will start the download process. One thing I would like to explain about the download process. If your phone is low on battery, I prefer if you have it over 80%, use the USB cord, plug it up into a wall so it won't run out of power. Do not attempt to plug up your phone while it's in the process of doing a system update. It can lead to some weird results where the update itself might get corrupted, and then you might have to call someone like me to help you get your phone back. So before you press this download button, please make sure if your phone isn't on 80%, you plug it into the wall and then hit download. It would take maybe 15-20 minutes, depending on how fast your Wi-Fi router is, to complete the download. But once it's finished, it does not automatically go to installation. You have to come back to the screen and arrow down, and you will find an install button. Then you use the OK button, which is the center button in the middle of the directional buttons. Press that to install, and then you can set the phone down and leave it be. It will install the update, it will reboot, it will do everything necessary to make sure your phone is running with the latest firmware, and you come back to it, she'll be talking, ready to go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this on this screen. So what I'm going to do now is hit the home button.
Home screen.
Okay,
3:34 p.m.
so
Tuesday, the 7th of
we
November.
have the update
List.
there, which we haven't yet installed,
System
but
updates
also
available.
we wish, and actually the phone just alerted you that it's a system update, but you know how to get to it. Go to settings, about phone, system update, and it's there. Next thing I like to do is make sure all the apps that are on the phone are also updated.
Applications.
So you go down to applications. This is your app drawer. All the apps that are currently installed on your Smart Vision 3 can be found here. So you press the OK button.
Applications. Agenda. In list.
Okay, I made the agenda there.
Application updates. An update is available.
Application updates. So you press application update.
Application updates. Progress bar. 0%.
So it would
Out of
begin
list.
updating the
Checking for
different
updates.
apps. It might be something related to TalkBack, which is important. And TalkBack is
Update is available.
currently running to
Application
version
updates.
14.01.
Update disabled.
But again, it installed, it checked all the updates, it did it that quickly. So that's good. So we're going to go back.
Applications. Application update.
Okay,
Update is
so
available.
now
List.
the phone has been given a secure, stable Wi-Fi connection. It also has been given a Google account, which has been registered. The system update, which is the main Android or firmware update, has been installed, and the application updates have been installed. So after that point, you now have a fully functional Smart Vision 3 phone, and you're now ready to move on to the next steps of customizing it to suit your consumer's needs or abilities. So the first thing I like to normally do, I bring up settings by pressing the menu button located on the left below the home button.
Home screen. Quick
I
settings.
go down to
In list.
settings,
Notifications. Recent application settings. Settings.
and
About
then
phone.
I go down to
Smart Vision
system.
3. In list.
Again, I'm gonna hit the down arrow key, navigation. You can arrow one at a time, which is fine.
Accessibility. Screen
But if you
readers.
want to jump
Display.
down to the
Interface
bottom of
controls.
everything listed on the screen, long press the down arrow button,
About phone.
and it
Smart
jumps
Vision 3.
down.
System. Languages.
So what I want to do
gestures.
is go to system.
System. In. Back. Out of system.
Then
Search
let's
settings.
see,
Languages and in. Gestures.
let's go to gestures.
Gestures. Button. Back. Out of
Okay,
list.
and now we're into
Gestures.
gestures.
Search settings. Quickly open camera. On. In list.
Now, quickly open camera for some of you might be something
Prevent ringing.
that
On.
might be important.
Quickly
I'm
open
gonna
camera.
press because I want to turn it off. So I'm gonna
Quickly
select
open
OK button. Well, for me, I don't think I'll come across where I would need to quickly launch my camera.
Quickly open camera. Search settings.
So I'm gonna arrow down.
Unlabeled. In list. Quickly open camera. To quickly open camera, press the power button twice.
So you
Works from any screen. Switch on.
now, if you notice, a lot of things with these menus and these choices, when you select them, Android will give you a description of what it is. All you have to do is arrow down and listen to it. So you don't have to go to the internet and say, hey, quickly open camera on Android 11. What does that do? It just told you, but I want to turn it off.
Unlabeled. Quickly open
I'm gonna
camera.
press
To quickly open camera, press the power button
the
twice.
OK button.
Works. Unlabeled.
That toggled it off. I'm gonna
Quickly
check
open camera.
to make
To
sure it's
quickly
off.
open camera, press the power button twice. Works from any screen. Switch off.
It's off. That's what I want. Now, some of you, again, the phone is adaptable to your tastes and needs. So because I decided to turn the camera to quickly open it by pressing the power button twice, you do not have to do the same thing. That's just a choice I'm making. I'm gonna hit the back button, go back one screen.
Gestures.
The back button
Quickly
is
open
located
camera.
to the right above the delete button next to the directional pad. And now,
Prevent ringing. Off.
prevent ringing. I want to enable this. Again, I'm gonna press the OK button,
Prevent ringing. Button. Back.
arrow
Out of
down.
list. Prevent ringing. Search settings. Unlabeled. In. Off. Switch off. Press power and volume up together to heading. Radio button. Not checked. Vibrate. Disabled.
So when I enable this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna
Press
turn it
power.
on
Switch
by pressing the OK button.
on.
Now it's on. So I'm gonna arrow down.
Press power and volume up together to heading. Radio button. Checked. Vibrate.
Vibrate,
Radio button. Not checked. Mute.
mute, and that's it.
Radio
So I
button.
think when
Checked. Vibrate. Press power and volume up together
when I
to
press
heading.
the volume and up button together, that means simultaneously,
Radio button. Checked.
I want
Vibrate.
my phone to mute, which means it won't ring, it'll just vibrate. So I'll put it on vibrate. You want it to mute, arrow down to mute, and it won't mute or vibrate. It'll just won't do anything. So I selected that choice. I'm gonna hit the back button,
Gestures. Prevent ringing. On.
and that's
Vibrate.
done.
List. Power menu. Show device controls.
On the power menu, you can leave. That's not something really necessary you need to mess with. That has to do with the power menu. When you long press the power button to turn off the phone, the options that are located there. So I'm gonna hit the back button.
Gestures. Date and time.
And
Backup. Off.
let's see what else I wanted.
Reset options. Multiple user. Reset options.
Go up,
Backup.
go
Settings.
back.
System. Languages. Duraspeed.
Go up.
Google.
Let's
Services
go
and
into
preferences.
Google.
Google
Again,
account.
that's on the main
Google.
settings page.
12.
And I went to Google.
Button. Navigate up. Button. Help and feedback. Button. More options. Google account. Kenneth Washington toptexttrain@gmail.com. 1 of 12.
It's showing that
List.
because
12
I
items.
actually, that when you add someone else's account, it should show up here.
Button. Manage your Google account.
That's how you manage your account.
Services on this device. Add. 3 of 12. Autofill. 4 of 12.
That's why I want autofill. So I'm gonna go into
SMS
autofill.
verification codes. 3 of 3. In list.
Okay,
3.
now,
Phone number sharing. 2 of. Autofill with Google. 1 of 3.
so what I want,
SMS verification code.
SMS verification codes. I'm gonna select that.
SMS
pressing OK
verification
button.
codes. Button. Navigate SMS verification codes. Autofill service. Allow autofill service to enter verification codes from text messages. Switch off. 1 of 2.
Okay, I want that on.
2 items.
So what that simply means is, when you get a text message with a code and you happen to be on a web page or app, and it wants you to manually enter that code, the Smart Vision 3 is smart enough to grab that code out of the text message for you, enter it into the proper field, and submit the continue button. So again, you can see as far as efficiency, how important it is to let the phone do the work instead of you doing the work. So I'm gonna turn it on.
Allow autofill service to enter verification codes from text messages. On. Default browser. Allow default browser to enter verification codes from text messages. Switch on. 2 of
Okay,
2.
that's again, that's on. And that's another thing with a code, you're in a browser. So if you're in an app, you're covered. They send a text message to your phone number. The code will be grabbed automatically, entered into the app. If you're on a web page and you come across the same situation, the code will be grabbed from your text message automatically, entered in the web page, and it should continue, but depending on which browser you have as a default, you may have to hit the continue button. But in either case, the hard work is already done for you. So I'm gonna back out of this.
Button. Navigate up. Out of list. Google account. SMS verification code.
And
3 of.
I think that's,
Phone number sharing. 2 of 3. Autofill with Google. 1 of 3.
now you're free autofill with Google. You're free to explore some of these settings. Autofill with Google deals with your address, if you wanted the passwords, your first name, last name, personal information. Again, it's your choice. Smart Vision 3 is the ultimate adaptable smartphone. So whatever you want, just choose it and let the phone do the work for you. So I'm gonna go
Google.
back
Out of list. Showing items 1
and
to 8
let's
of
see
12.
what else we have here.
Button. Navigate up. Button. Help and feedback. Button. More options.
I think
Google
that's
account.
all I want to change in here for now.
Bill. Devices and sharing. Find my device.
As you can
6
see,
of 12.
there's a lot of things that you can find in this menu. Again, go to settings in Google that deals with Google services as far as being able to find your phone if you get lost, auto submitting information,
Mobile data and messaging. 7 of 12.
controlling ads. If you don't like some ads, you can also choose ads and adjust to your need to delete your ad ID so it won't track you so easily. So I'm gonna go back.
Settings. Google. Services. and
Okay,
preferences.
so
In list.
I have made the two adjustments that I have made the adjustments that I normally make when customizing the phone for me. Again, you have to speak to the consumer you're working with and see what their abilities are. More importantly, what their comfort level is, and
Digital
try to make the
well-being and
phone
parental
as
control.
easy as possible
Free time.
for them to
Messengers.
work
Good
with.
time
Because
schedules.
believe it or not, especially a lot of seniors, they're nervous about technology. They're scared of it. They don't know how it works, or they're not willing to put the effort may be into learning it, but if you start adapting the phone to what they do like, if they happen to use the buttons, let them focus on the buttons. If they happen to be used to using touchscreen gestures, so forth, let's focus on adapting the phone and making changes in the settings to enhance those features of the phone. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back. I think it's nothing else.
Accessibility, screen readers, display,
Accessibility.
interaction control.
I'll go in here a little bit. I don't want to go because again, this is this is a session all within itself. But accessibility is where you'll find
Back, out of list.
where all the accessibility features that are currently installed on a phone, you can find them
Accessibility.
listed here.
Search settings. Downloaded app.
I'm arrowing
Settings
down.
and list. Capsi's accessibility on.
That's the Capsi's accessibility service, which you want to leave on.
Rescue Plus Mobile off.
That's another service.
Screen readers heading.
Now we're going down to the screen reader, which you should find TalkBack.
Select to speak. Off here selected text. Talkback. On speak items on screen.
Okay, so let's select TalkBack.
Talkback. Button. Back.
So
Out of
let's
list.
check out some of the settings of TalkBack.
Talkback. Use talkback. Switch on.
You, of
and
course, never ever want to accidentally press the OK button on that and turn it off, because then, of course, you would lose your screen reader and your phone would stop talking. So let's arrow down.
Options. Heading. Talkback shortcut. Hold volume keys.
Okay, let's see.
Switch. Shortcut settings. On.
So that's good. So the TalkBack shortcut, hold volume keys, that mean you hold the volume up, volume down buttons simultaneously at the same time to toggle TalkBack off. You want to turn it back on, again, hold the volume up and the volume down buttons simultaneously at the same time, and TalkBack will come back on.
Settings.
Let's go
Shown
in,
items 1
let's
to
go
5
into
of
settings.
Talkback settings.
Now,
Button.
this
Navigate up.
is
Out of list.
important to customize TalkBack to be less chatty, to read more information, or maybe read less information. Again, it's depending on your needs and your consumer needs. So let's arrow down.
Talkback settings. New features in Talkback. 1 of 17. In list. Audio. Heading. 2 of text to speech settings. 3 of 17.
Text to speech, that is where you enter to go into the Google TTS settings, navigate, and if you wish to change the speed, if you want to choose a different voice, maybe you're like a male voice or a different female voice or Australian or whatever your choice is, it starts here.
Verbosity. 4 of 17.
Verbosity, that controls how much talkback, how much information talkback relays to you when it's speaking. So let's go into verbosity.
Button. Navigate up. Verbosity. Choose a preset. Custom. 1 of 16.
Now they have presets,
Verbosity details.
low,
2 of 16.
high, and custom. Basically, I just go through the settings. You can
Choose a preset.
you can
Custom.
select
1 of
on here
16.
and choose a preset if you want, but I think it's better if you just arrow down.
Verbosity details. Heading. 2. Speak usage hints. After describing content, suggest how to use. Switch off. 3 of
Now,
16.
I have that switched off because I feel like when it lands on a certain option, a button, an edit field, I pretty much know what to do. But for a consumer, they may not know what to do. So you generally want speak usage hints on, because what happens is TalkBack will be the helper then. It will take over situations where you can't be there to instruct them. And just like it gave details on some of the options under the Google settings, it will start doing things for different attributes like buttons and edit fields and things of that nature, what you should do next or what you can do next. Let's arrow down.
Speak list and grid info. Switch on. 4 of 16.
Speak, list, and grid info, that comes with scrolling. That's more important if you plan on using touch gestures. And getting more into touch gestures, the only touch gestures you can perform, speaking TalkBack touch gestures, are single finger. There are no multi-finger touch gestures on the Smart Vision, but there are single finger, which is plenty enough.
This is a reminder.
Always speak number of
Kenny,
list items.
you have 10
Speak
minutes
count
left.
for all scrolling
Okay.
methods.
Always
Switch
speak
on. 5 of
numbers of the
16.
items. that's important. So as you're scrolling, when you scroll with two fingers, to scroll a list, you place two fingers on the screen and you simply move up to see what's below the list, slide down to see what's above the list. And it will actually speak, okay, 9 of 40, 15 of 40. So you always know how many items are in the listings and where you are located as you're scrolling. So you pretty much want that on.
Speak element type. For focused items, switch on. 6 of 16.
Speak element types, that just tells you when you land on a button, if you turn that off, it'll just say continue. And you're like, well, okay, is it a button or a link? But with this on, it would then say continue button. That's what that does. So as you see, that's important to leave that on.
Speak window name. Speak system and input windows, like when you switch to the status bar, notifications, or another keyboard, switch on. 7 of 16.
And see, again, that's what I like about TalkBack and Android. If you listen, it basically will tell you what each option does.
Speak notifications when screen is off. Switch off. 8 of
Okay,
16.
so that's an important setting. So when your phone goes to sleep, again, the keypad and the screen are off, meaning you can't swipe, you can't use them. But TalkBack is still working in the background. So if you wanted to speak notifications, because it's actually still doing things in the background, downloading email, retrieving text, all sorts of things. If you want TalkBack to read any notifications that might be important to you while your phone is asleep or in standby mode, you want to toggle this on.
Use pitch changes. Speak deleted letters in a higher pitched voice. Switch on. 9 of 16.
Okay.
Speak letters with examples. When you select keyboard keys or navigate by character, you'll hear an example along with each letter, like H, hotel, switch, on, 10 of 16.
Which is also important when you're entering text, and sometimes you may not, as you're reviewing it one by using the left and arrow key. I'll get into more detail doing that on the next session, but it would land on H and it would say hotel. So just in case you might not have heard it, you'll heard the phonetic word for that letter.
Keyboard echo. On-screen keyboard, characters and words, 11 of 16.
Yours might say characters. I like when I enter text, I like to hear the characters. And when I hit the space bar, I want to hear the word that's spelled out. So that's why I put it on characters and words. I wanted to tell me both.
Keyboard echo.
This is for a
Physical
keyboard.
Capital letters. Say, capital, 13 of 16.
Capital letters, you can change that if you go in there. If you don't like it saying cap M, for example, it can just make a sound, or it can make it go into a higher pitch noise so you know it's a capital letter. I prefer to say cap M because it's easier for me to say, okay, that's a capital letter.
Speak all progress updates. Includes updates while downloading, following driving directions, and more.
Okay.
When turned off, you'll still get less frequent updates. Switch off.
Again,
14 of 16.
everything here is self-explanatory.
Speak element IDs. For
Now,
labeled buttons. Switch off. 15 of 16.
Speak element IDs. This is important. I left this off, but I want to turn this on.
For labeled buttons. On.
Okay.
Showing items 11 to 15. Speak punctuation and symbols. Speak element IDs. For labeled buttons. Switch on.
Okay,
15 of
I want
16.
that on.
Speak all progress updates.
So element IDs, what that is, when you run across a button that happens to be unlabeled, where it's just saying you're navigating the app and it's saying unlabeled button, what the element ID attempts to do, if that button hopefully has a name, if it's properly programmed by the programmer, it will give you a sense of what that button does. So it might say stop all. So you can indicate, well, that's the stop button, and then you can label it using the facility of TalkBack, which I will again get into in the next session.
Speak punctuation and symbols.
And that's it. So what I'm going to do is go back.
Home screen. 3:54 p.m.
Okay, now I'm going to open it up for settings, but what's important, I'm gonna bring up the recent apps. Again, I want you to take the long way. That's again pressing the menu.
Home screen.
And that's the button
Quick settings.
located below the home button on the left side of the directional pad.
Notifications.
I'm gonna arrow down.
Recent applications.
Recent applications. So when you hit this,
Recent apps.
all the apps you have opened up,
Alphabet.
will be listed here.
Settings.
Settings, I was just in settings. That's still there.
System updates application
Ah,
update.
that's the one I want. So I want to switch back to system updates. So I'm gonna press the OK button.
Checking for update. Progress bar. Progress 0%. None update is available. Application
Well,
update.
actually, it is update available, of course.
Application update. Button. Update. Disabled.
Okay, that was the application updates. Now we go back.
3:55
Hit the
p.m.
menu.
Tuesday the 7th of notification. Recent application.
Recent applications.
3:55 p.m. Recent apps. Settings.
Matter of fact, let me close these because it's
System
good.
updates application update.
That's application. I want to close that by hitting the delete button. That's also the clear button. Doesn't mean it's deleting it from your phone. It's actually clearing it from the phone's buffer. So it's releasing all that valuable services and that the phone needs to run properly. Okay.
System update.
Okay, that's the one I want. System update.
Release
So
note.
select that so it can switch back to where I was.
Stability of patch bug.
And as you can see, it's right there where you left it at.
Wi-Fi hotspot. Firmware update. Release note.
Arrow down.
Button. Download and install.
And you want to start the download. You can do that now if you wish. Again, it will take some time, but again, keep in mind, if your phone is not on 80% power or more, please plug it into the wall before you press the download button. Again, select OK, and it will start the process of downloading. Once it's finished download, it will still remain on the same page, and the download button will then turn into install. So just once again, arrow down, select install, press the OK button, and begin the install process. It may take maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes to complete, but it's very important to do before you do anything on your phone regarding any customizations, installing any apps from the Play Store. You want to get this out the way. What I'm going to do now, I've been running my mouth here for almost 45 minutes. I'm going to open it up to questions. Anything that I went over that someone doesn't quite understand or need more clarification, I'll be more than happy to help here.
So Desmond has a question.
Okay. All right,
Go ahead,
Desmond.
You can unmute yourself.
Ooh, I'm facing the wrong
All
way.
right, good afternoon. Very nice presentation there, Kenny.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a comment and then a couple questions. Trying not to take up too much time here.
Yeah.
So firstly, one thing I noticed, like in the apps folder,
Right.
you can use sort of a first letter navigation, well, kind of the T9 method to jump to groups of like a certain alphabet group. So like I could do the 7 4 times if I want to get down to the S's and that kind of stuff. So I found that helpful.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so also I wanted to ask, so the CAPSI's accessibility, not that I'm going to do this, but
Okay.
if I turn that off, you know, I still have talkback running. What happens? What do I lose?
Well, when you disable the CAPSI's setting, what that eventually does is render your keypad sort of useless. So all the shortcuts where you press the home button and returns home and back button, that's all due to the CAPSI's accessibility service. So turning that on means basically you're going to just be using the touchscreen of your phone, which the touchscreen portion of your phone is all controlled by TalkBack. They work hand in hand. TalkBack handles the screen, CAPSI's handles the keypad.
Okay, awesome. And then finally, will the phone get the latest version of Android? I mean, of course, all phones eventually kind of phase out in terms of the updates they can get, but will it keep up with like the latest version of the Android operating system and TalkBack and so forth?
Okay, well, right now, the Smart Vision 3 is running Android 11, the most stable build of Android 11. because the CAPC services are so tightly integrated into the operating system, it's sort of hard for it to just be upgraded from one build to another. So eventually, an upgrade will come in the future, but right now, I guess CAPC, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. You do get security updates, which mean if there's any problem with certain things, loopholes being found where someone can hack your phone, those updates are released pretty frequently. I know one was just recently released, but as far as gaining the latest Android build, which I think is version 14, that takes a little bit more time because we're dealing with a phone designed especially for people with blind and low vision. So the different accessibility services that have been created for it um, can get mixed up or messed up if builds are just installed one on top of the other. So a lot of testing, a lot of work is involved in doing that. So hopefully a build release will come in the near future, but right now, again, Android 11 seems to be functioning fine on the Smart Vision, no issues, no problems. So it will take some time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I also wanted to, go into more detail what Desmond was talking about regarding the application drawer. When you enter your application drawer, there are a lot of apps that may be installed on your Smart Vision. So if you decide, well, I know what I want is, say, settings. So simply press the S, which you hit the 7 key, I think 3 times. And when the S enters, like instant filtering, everything beginning with the letter S will appear on the screen. You say, okay, let me put the letter E. That's the number 3, hit that 3 times or 2 times. So now you have SE. So the only apps that will be shown are the ones beginning with SE. And of course, settings start with SE. You will see that listed there. You can select it and it will take you to that app. Now, if you want to go back to showing all the apps that are listed on your phone, hit the delete button to release the letters. It will delete the E button, then the S button, and then slowly you will see all the apps just pop back up on your screen. So that's the instant filter ability of the application drawer that's on your Smart Vision.
So next I see a question from A. Torres. I'll unmute him. Torres, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, hello, this is Ansel Torres. Hi, Kenny. How are
Hi,
you?
how you doing? Good,
Very
good.
A very smooth presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I have a couple questions
Yes.
for you. One of the things that I noticed about the joystick left and right keys is that when it comes to increasing, or you press the left,
Yes. Yes.
and when
Okay.
decreasing, you press the right. Is there a way that could be turned around,
Well,
or is that set?
unfortunately, because even though there are a lot of benefits to accessibility services running in the background, there's also 1 or 2 drawbacks, and one is the reverse feature of the left and right arrow key. Because you're right, in order to increase speech, you need to hit the left arrow key, and to decrease it, you hit the right arrow key.
Right,
So
when the norm is usually, yeah, the reverse.
yeah,
Right?
so that's because the CAPC service is working and the talkback service is working in the background. So in order for them to be there for you all the time, that's one of the glitches that unfortunately is there, which requires you to adapt a little bit. But once you get used to it, it won't you won't mind it so much. It just that's the first few times.
Okay. And in terms of voice, a lot of the clients that I work with are elderly, and
Yes.
they I think they will do much better with voice commands.
Yes.
Is it possible to set up contacts with voice, contacts or calendars?
Well, you need to go into the different apps to set it. Once you're in there, you can again place focus, wants to focus on edit field, select OK, and you can use the dictation button to dictate the information you want for a person's first name. Just dictate Kenneth. Then you go down to the last name field, dictate Washington. You cannot use exclusively, say, Google Assistant or dictation to say, okay, I want to create a contact, first name. Yeah, that is probably a cumbersome procedure. I'm sure it's something that might be coming in the future. But right now, it's probably so many steps to do it, probably people get lost in it, so they rather
Well, that's
just,
yeah, because that
Yeah.
would be one of the challenges with
yeah.
elderly folks having to navigate all of these different menus.
Yeah,
Um,
well, once you're in the context, again, just knowing that all you have to do is focus on navigating the app by
Mhm.
using the up and down arrow key. It kind of takes the
Right.
learning curve out. You
Right.
arrow down, okay, press enter. Arrow down again, press enter. Okay,
Mhm.
you're on the first name field. Press the dictation button on the right side. Speak the person's name. Fine, press enter. Move down to the last person, last name field. Press the OK button. Use the dictation button, speak the person's last name. So it is, you can come up with a procedure, again, based on their comfort level and abilities that is doable.
Mhm.
But again, it's going to take a little bit of training, but not as much if they were trying to use just a touch screen. They had to learn how to do the swipe gestures and do this and that, which can be a bigger headache for our older adults.
And the last quick question,
Yes.
there is, whenever I turn on the phone, and I guess when it's on,
Yes.
there is this frequent prompting about MDM. I don't know if
Yes.
that's what, can you explain what that is? And
Okay.
can we turn, I would like to turn it off because it
Well,
intrudes.
right now the MDM, that's something that's so associated with Robert spoke about with Google, because so many accounts was made, they disabled them, but once that is fixed, that problem will go away. So right now,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, the
Okay.
most you can do is go down to close it, because it's looking for the actual MDM account which has been assigned to you, and because you're not
Yes.
logged in and it's not retrieving the information
Oh,
necessary,
okay.
that's
Okay.
what's making it bring up
Because
the
it
error.
made it was sounding like somebody's monitoring me.
No,
It made me a little bit paranoid.
no, oh no. It's just what it is. The MDM is a mobile device management. It's a way in case you lose your phone or something happens to happen to it. It's easier for the state to track it down and tell you where it is, or maybe I'll help you through a reset to put some things back you may have accidentally deleted. So it's a way to make sure the phone remains the property of Maryland, even though it's in your possession.
Oh, I'll have some questions about that, but I think I've taken up enough of your time. Thank
No,
you so
no
much.
problem. No problem.
So Kenny, we have a question on the chat from Madeline.
Oh,
So she
sure.
says, "Hi, great
Hi.
presentation. I'm
Thank you.
charging it on the white pad right now. It
Right.
gets very hot. Is that normal? The
Yes,
phone itself gets hot."
yes, that is normal. No need, as long as you don't have any kind of credit card, anything metal in between the phone and the charging pad, is fine. That's something that's just dealing with the wireless charging that's going into the phone. So that's not a big deal. It's not going to overheat or explode or do anything. It's just unnecessary. It does get a little hot while it's on the charging pad, but once it's done, of course you want to take it off, because you don't want to just sitting there, continuously while it's at 100%. So that's fine. You don't have to worry about that. That's okay.
So Madeline says, "Okay, great, and thanks for
Sure.
the answer."
Sure, no problem. Okay. Any more questions? I know it's a lot of things I didn't get to today. I will get to next week regarding installing apps from the Play Store, navigating the different fields when you type something in, how to navigate.
So
So,
Kenny,
yes,
Tiffany
Yeah.
Green has a question for you. Tiffany, you can
Sure.
go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sure.
Yes. Hi, Kenny. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Yes, learned a lot. this is basically just a logistical question. I noticed when
Sure.
you go in to add a Google account, it says work email. Is that just because it's state property and they're set up as
Yes.
work? Okay, that's what I figured.
Yes, that's directly related to the MDM account, which is basically the home account. So, being though the phones are under a management profile, when you enter your account information, it's going to be labeled as work, even though it is your home account. So yes,
Okay, okay,
that's
okay,
fine.
okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody, this is Jane, and if we don't have any more questions, then I guess we'll wrap it up for today.
Okay.
Kenny, that was an excellent presentation, and just a reminder to everyone, Thursday, we are not having any classes. We will be back together again a week from today on Tuesday. And we will look forward to learning more about the Smart Vision 3 at that time.
Yes.
Again, if anybody needs any help with the Google Pixel situation, it seems like everyone has managed to get that straightened out. But if anyone does need assistance, we can contact Kenny and get some help with that. Kenny, Robert, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we wrap it up?
I think that's it. We'll
Okay.
wait till next Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your
Yep.
evening. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you. That was
See you
great.
next
Thank you.
Tuesday. All
Thanks.
right.
Bye.